Welcome back to the Kids Health Revolution kitchen, where we are cooking up a revolution in kids' health. We are making fabulous but still easy everyday recipes for your family. Taking our kids' health back means that we need to get back into the kitchen, preparing and eating delicious whole foods that are going to support health. And I'm here to show you that that doesn't mean you have to become a slave to the kitchen in order to do that. So, what are we making today? We are whipping up some really yummy banana nut muffins that your kiddos are gonna love. There's so much nutrition in these. It's a great way for them to start their day, and they're gonna be thrilled that pancakes aren't just for weekends anymore, because these are so quick. They take me probably about 10 minutes to make in the morning. You can make them on a weekday, serve them with a little bit of fruit, and out the door they go, ready to tackle the day. So what are you gonna need for this recipe? Well, let me tell you. So this recipe is packed full of amazing nutrition for their growing little bodies to thrive. We have protein from the egg, as well as some really great health supporting, brain health supporting cholesterol in the eggs. We've got fiber and omega fatty acids from the chia seed. And this is ground white chia seed. So when it's ground, it's actually more bioavailable. So the body's actually able to digest it and use the fatty acids better. When we have the whole seed, it's still good for us, but it's great fiber, but it tends to pass through without absorbing as much of those great fatty acids. We've also got some more protein and fatty acids in the nut butter. This is cashew nut butter, but you could use whatever nut butter you like. And even the banana has got some good nutrition in it. We've got an excellent source of potassium here, as well as a decent source of B6 vitamins, as well as a little bit of fiber. So this adds that punch of sweetness that we know our kiddos really love. And it's got some good nutrition in it, right? This is better than a cup of sugar that has absolutely no nutrients in it. And then of course we want a little pinch of sea salt just to punch up that flavor. So measurement wise, we have 1 banana, we have about a tablespoon and heaping tablespoon and a half of cashew butter, 1 egg, and a tablespoon of the ground white chia. And of course the recipe will be up on my blog as well, Kids Health Revolution. You can get the full details there. So super simple ingredients and easy to whip up. So there's a couple of options that you have to make these. I tend to just use a good old-fashioned bowl and a fork to do them, especially if I'm only making up one recipe, which reminds me, I want to tell you, this is a great recipe to batch cook. So you could, double, triple, even quadruple the recipe and cook up a whole bunch, even on a weekend if you wanted to. They keep in the fridge really well for about 4 or 5 days, and then it's super easy morning, right? All you have to do is get up in the morning. You could pop them in the toaster to warm them up, and off you go. So that's an option as well. But if I'm just making up one batch, I like to use just a bowl and a fork. The other option, if you like gadgets, is usually I have a glass one of these, but this came with my mixing wand. I broke my glass beaker taking it out of the dishwasher. Anyway, you can put your ingredients into this and then use the handy dandy wand mixer to mix it up if you like to do it that way. So that is an option for you as well. I don't find this a whole lot faster, maybe takes a minute off of my prep time. So let's get our banana chopped in there. Oops, that's all right. And so usually I would chop up my banana a little bit even if I'm doing it with the hand mixer. Just makes it a little bit easier to mix things up. Just takes 2 seconds. And then generally I put in my nut butter next and mix that together a little bit first before I throw the egg and stuff in. I just find that it mixes a little bit better that way. So in that goes. And we just start mushing it up with the fork. Might seem a bit tedious, but really it doesn't take much time at all. And we just start to see the banana and the nut butter starting to come together. I can smell it. Smells good already. You could even throw a little bit of flavoring into this if you wanted to. You could put a little bit of vanilla powder in, or chocolate. Nice raw cacao powder would up the magnesium content. And kids would probably be pretty happy to have chocolate pancakes for breakfast in the morning before school. Cinnamon tastes really good in it as well. And I've even done some sort of chai type spices in it. So cinnamon and some cloves, or what we kind of tend to think of as pumpkin pie spices. So that's good there. You still got some chunks, but that's okay. We're gonna add in the egg. Just plops in there quite nicely. A little pinch of salt. Not a whole heck of a lot, but just enough to punch up the flavor. And we might as well just chuck this nice bit of chia in there as well. And then we just give that a nice little mix. The chia helps it bind together as well as the egg. And if you notice a few of those chunks now, as you're starting to get a bit more of a liquidy batter, you can just smush those out. Now this is where that hand mixer does make it a little bit quicker, but not everybody has all those gadgets in their kitchens, right? So I like to show it this way so that you don't have to go out and buy fancy equipment all the time in order to be able to cook really good, easy, quick, whole foods. Get out a few more lumps, just pressing it down with my fork. Scraping the sides. And a couple lumps are fine. It's not like these are sort of like flour pancakes where you want them to be super light and fluffy. These are a little bit more dense, and they've got a nice banana flavor to them. So a couple little banana chunks isn't going to hurt anybody at all. You could do this in a food processor as well, though I will say that I find that works better for larger batches. When I'm just making a small batch, it doesn't mix as well. You need to have more substance in the food processor. So there we go. The batter is all mixed up and ready to go. Now I would let that sit for about 1 minute for the chia seeds to soak up a little bit of the liquid and become sort of puffed up. And we just let it sit while we are heating up some ghee in a pan, ready to get these things cooked up. I transferred my batter into one of these little beakers. You could use a measuring cup. I just find it makes it a little bit easier to pour them out into the pan, and I hope there's not too much light exposure for you to see that, but we want the pan fairly hot. You hear that nice sizzle? We got a little sizzle in the jizzle there. That's what we need for pancakes. Just like regular pancakes, you need to have a fairly hot pan. And I'm making these fairly large. You can make them into little ones if you want. Whatever size you like. You can do the fancy Mickey Mouse pancakes, whatever works for you. Just find that an easy way to pour them out. I have ghee in the pan here. I just like the flavor of pancakes with ghee a little bit better than coconut oil, but whatever floats your boat you can use. I'm just going to turn the heat down a tiny bit here, and we're going to let these cook. They do start to, you can see maybe there that they start to form a few bubbles, just like regular pancakes do. They're not going to bubble up quite as much, but you do want them to set and be firm, so you can slip your spatula under, and you got to be quick. Little flip. Okay, starting to get nice and golden brown on that one side. Needs a little more time. Of course, using a non-stick pan is best. I like these green pans because they don't have any of the chemicals and things that we want to get out of our children's lives. And we let those cook until they are done and nice and golden brown on the other side as well. On that one, it needs a little bit more time. My stove is a bit unbalanced, so they tend to brown on one side of the pan a little faster than the other. That's okay. Okay, getting nice and golden on that other side. You can see. Just going to leave it for just another moment. Let's check these guys. Looking good. Okay, and let's take them off onto our plate. Nice little stack of pancakes there, and then we'll of course just finish up by adding in the rest of our batter. You could add a little bit more of your ghee or coconut butter to the, coconut oil to the pan if you wanted to. You don't need to. The pan's getting a little hot, so I'm just going to turn it down a little bit more. Just making those minor adjustments here and there. Okay, and those are going to cook, and when we're done, we'll have 6 beautiful pancakes for breakfast. So there you have it, beautiful banana nut butter pancakes packed full of nutrition and yummy, yummy goodness. I've added a little dollop of ghee on the top just for presentation's sake, and I would serve it probably with a little bit more strawberries than this, but it looks pretty on the plate. So I think it looks good enough to eat, don't you? I think your kids would be pretty thrilled to get this on their plate for their morning breakfast. And I gotta tell you, my son tends to just pick them up and eat them with his fingers because we don't need to pour syrup all over these, right? They taste nice and sweet on their own. Yep, perfect. Warm and soft and sweet and delicious. I know that your family will love these pancakes. Give them a try. I would love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you have any questions about the recipe, of course, again, you can find the full recipe on kidshealthrevolution.com. Just click on the blog and recipes and you'll find it there. I hope you enjoy it. Take good care and keep up with the revolution.